My favorite Ranger was the Green Ranger. I remember when I was a kid, I used to like go over to my friend's house and like do the little whistle like you get on the dagger flute thing to summon a Zord to get my friend to come out and play. And then we'd like race back to my house and play with my command center toy. And I'm talking to Zord on. I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. Thank you.
It really is awesome because you touch so many of people's lives.
It's very funny because as an actor and as a voice actor, my experience was very behind the scenes. I mean, they would film the episodes and then I would go to the studio and provide the voice for whatever was going on in an episode. And somebody asked this question of the panel earlier with Todd about sometimes you do a voiceover for a show that won't be on the air for like another 6 months. So it's very interesting to see how the impact has been over the years, that people will just watch these shows over and over and over and just really love them and enjoy them. It was a great time.
So I guess my favorite Ranger was probably Tommy, but me and my cousin were both really obsessed with Power Rangers, to the point where we would wrestle around a lot. And one day, it's the only injury I've ever had, but I broke my arm. The two bones right up front here, I'm totally snapped in half. But all I remember is I did not want to go to the hospital because the new episode of Power Rangers was coming out. I was like, Tom's coming through the pain. Tom's coming back this week. I can't miss this. But yeah, so that's my story.
Thanks for the dedication, but you probably should have gone to the hospital.
Hi, my name is Larry. Basically, I grew up in a military family, so we moved around lots of and had many friends to hang out with, and just having a show like Power Rangers made it really fun. I enjoyed myself, though I always had to worry about moving, etc. And my question was, basically, since you couldn't have Power Rangers without Zordon, do you have any specific parts of the show that you enjoyed?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear the last part of the question.
Did you have any specific parts of the show that you enjoyed?
I just enjoyed being the mentor character, the one who was always trying to help them solve the problems and dispensing advice. I mean, I thought that was a very positive message that the show had, that you had these kids who came from very different sections of society. And there's a lot of comedy and fun made of the fact that all these kids dressed in primary colors and all that kind of stuff. But I think that was basically the underlying message, is that no matter where you come from, you can come together and you can solve this problem. And I thought it was great that Zordon was the one who was guiding them. So that was my big thing. And I grew up in a military family too, so I know where they're coming from.
And with that, though, I think it was also really cool about Power Rangers is that it was, every Ranger was from a different walk of life. They had a different social status. Like in the originals, like Kimberly was the popular girl, and Billy was the nerd, and Jason was the jock. It was like all these like high school stereotypes. They came together and they became really best friends because they were helping save the world. It was awesome. I wish real life was like that.
A very positive message. Yeah.
Yes. And from all, diversity too. So racial diversity. That was really great.
I'm on. I just wanted to ask David, what would you say was probably your favorite episode of Power Rangers?
I actually have two. There's the first one, obviously, where everything gets introduced and the characters introduced, and Zordon basically, he offers the job to them, but they turn him down in the beginning, and they walk out. I think there was a lot of really nice groundwork laid in that episode. And then, of course, there's the final one with Zordon, where the tube is broken and he dissipates, and because of the force of the good of the Rangers and Zordon himself, a lot of the evil is wiped away. So I think it was a nice arc from the beginning to the end. So those bookends, the first episode and that last episode was one of my favorites.
Hope I'm not boring you with all my stories. But, favorite Power Ranger, initially I really just liked them all, but then Johnny Bosch comes on the show and I'm like, all about him. So I was volunteering at Otakon, like 2002, and I'm backstage waiting to do my job. And there were a few of the guests there, and I'm like, hi, how are you guys doing? Having a good day? What kind of work do you guys do? And they list off a couple things, and then it's like, yeah, I voice Bosch's Stampede and Trigon. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna be dressed as Bosch's Stampede tomorrow. And so all the guests go on stage for opening ceremonies and do their thing. And later in the afternoon, I'm like, oh my God, that was Johnny Young Bosch, the Black Ranger! What am I doing? Why didn't I be like, oh dude, you're the Black Ranger, I love you, your word is, I'm like, I was trying to be cool, and I'm like, oh my God, I miss my channel. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah.
Hello. I remember watching the show all the time when I was a little kid. I always come home, turn the TV on right away, and just sit there mesmerized like that. But my most memories come from the toys, especially I don't remember which Green Ranger it was. I know it wasn't Tommy, but it was one of the later ones. And I had him in a Cheetor from Beast Wars up on my dresser. I go to sleep that night. The next morning, I wake up and Cheetor is holding his head, and he's on the floor, and they're on my desk. And I was like, "What happened? Is this Toy Story? Like a violent Toy Story or something?" But yeah, that's pretty much where my most memories come from. Me and my cousins playing with the toys. Me putting the Red Ranger and the Millennium Falcon, all that fun stuff. So.
Yeah, I wish I had a penny for every toy that was sold.
You'd be a millionaire.
Oh yeah, several times over. I want to just go and touch back on the part where she said that she was like a mentor to us all, because I know that when I was watching the movie, the Power Ranger movie for the first time, and when Zordon was passing away, I'm like, this can't be happening. Like, is this for real? I'm like, oh no. And so it really heartbroke, crushed me, and then afterwards it didn't come back. So I wanted to say thank you for being the mentor of Zordon for us for a very long time.
Thank you. I just want to say that the writers of the show did a really good job as far as creating that sort of feeling for the people that are watching it. They really set it up well that Zordon was somebody that you cared about. So it was a good job on their part.
Okay, I just wanted to share one more thing. Back whenever I was watching Power Rangers, I think it aired on Fox, but I'm not too sure because it was so long ago, but I think it was Fox. I remember during the commercial break, they played little, public service announcements, things like that the Power Rangers did, little special in between things. The one that actually changed my life the most, and that I still bring with me to this day, that I still live by to this day. I don't remember exactly what happened, and maybe somebody else here does, but I remember that it was Jason the Red Ranger, and he was talking about bullying, and he said the line, "Just remember, the bigger man is the one who walks away from the fight." And watching that as a kid, that influenced me so much. I actually brought that with me to school, and anybody who would pick on me, it actually changed who I was, because I brought that with me my entire life, and I've always just said that. And sometimes people give me grief for it. I'm like, I don't care. That's what the Power Rangers told me to do.